And this is This Week in Car Audio. Tune in, tune in, tune in, tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Tune in, tune in, tune in. When we talking about bass, talking about chips, talking about rings, you ain't got them, zip your lip. You got a problem you haven't found, check your grounds. The show about to start. Tune in, 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 tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Yeah. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio.
Welcome to This Week in Car Audio with your host, the judge, Doug Stockton, co-hosted by Mr. Internet Sensation himself, Mr. Jeffrey Fernandez. What's good, Jeffrey?
Nothing much, Doug. Nothing much. Just hanging out with you here on a Monday.
Yeah, so we didn't get anybody to come on this week.
Bummer.
Little bit on my fault. I just had some other things going on. Ended up selling my house this week, so
Oh, nice.
been busy with that.
You don't sound too happy about selling your house.
No, isn't too bad. The bad part is now I need to turn my boat over to my neighbor. So that kind of sucks. So
Are you just giving it to him, or did he buy it from you?
No. He purchased it.
Okay.
So it is what it is. Oh, there we go. We're starting to get some admitted. Anyway, yeah. So it looks like he purchased it, and it kind of sucks. This is when it starts getting good in the fishing season, and I won't be fishing. As a matter of fact, Saturday I went out and I fished on Saturday by my house right here. Oops, come on, pop out.
But you're gonna have more fishing where you're gonna be at, right?
That's the story. Anyway, so I went fishing. I caught a couple of 5-pound fish. Moses keeps telling me he wants to come fishing, but he never shows up. Wow. I am surprised. We have a lack of guests today, or lack of visitors.
Uh-oh, are we?
Oh, there we go.
On?
We got 3. All right, we're starting to pick up a couple people now. I wasn't sure we were still on. Eric, boat owner, best day is when you buy it, and the best 2 days is when you buy it and when you sell it.
Really? And is that true?
That's a statement that many people make. Me personally, I enjoy having a boat, so I use it quite often. Unlike most people, I go out on my boat almost every day.
Well, yeah, the water's in your backyard, literally in your backyard.
Yeah, it's 26 feet from my back door. And I actually have 2 speaker system on there. So
Oh man.
Big expensive stuff,
How are you going to catch fish if you're bumping, the music?
Well, the thing is
They'll
my
get scared.
fish, my particular lake, the fish aren't pressured that much, and because they're not pressured, they aren't afraid of boats and music and all that stuff.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so they literally let me. Shoot, I've caught fish jumping out of the water after my lure right at my boat. So, yeah, it's
Impressive.
they are not afraid of nothing.
Well, it's because it's catch and release, right?
It is.
So they're like, it's probably fun for them. They're like, hey, let's get on this one. Let's get on this hook.
Let's get on this ride.
Yeah.
One person made a post one time that said, well, imagine if you were just sitting in your living room and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this alien dropped down something, grabbed you by your lip, ripped you into outer space, and you couldn't breathe, and then just threw you back down to Earth.
Exactly.
So that's what he was saying is going on with when you go fishing.
That sounds like a ride at Six Flags.
Yeah, there you go.
That's why they're not pressured. It's not like, they're one day they're hanging out with their buddies and, leaves the water and they're gone. They're just back to partying.
Eric Hansen says, I lived in Michigan and lived between two lakes, Lake Huron and Lake Van Ethan, half-mile apart. There you go. Did you fish, though, Eric? Because I'm a fisherman. So that's one thing I got to figure out, too, is if I do move to Texas, Jesse Navarro, next DB Drag is in MX locally. What's MX?
Mexico?
Oh.
Yeah, I believe they have a Mexico show coming up.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, our friend Robert Pedrosa is I believe he's running it.
Oh, very cool. Oh yeah, Eric says he is a fisher dude. Yes, Mexico. You know what? I am going to look at this since we don't really have anything scheduled today. Let's look at the DB Drag calendar real quick. DB.
Speaking of, there was a little bit of news on the judges' side.
Really?
I don't know if it was public. I think it might have just been like a direct email to the judges, but it's another Cody initiative, I believe. I'm not sure if you read that, but it had to do with listing events, and the more you list, there's a discount from DBERA.
Oh, that is cool. Fished in ice, troll fishing, smelt, dipping. Whatever. That's a lot of words that don't make any sense. That's all from Eric.
A sentence?
I don't know. Let's see here. We have a small lake, Pacific Ocean, big fish. That's from Jesse. All right. Well, here we go. Why did the calendar not pop up? Select month, pop off, format, DB Drag. Come on. Why is it not popping up? Are we in April? We are still.
Yes.
All right. Days mean nothing to me. Why do I have select month, year, filters? I don't want to use a filter. I just want to see. Oh, calendar view, because I'm in instructions. That's why I clicked the wrong button. All right. So I'm looking up here. This weekend is the 26th, 27th. We got Alabama 3X. We got Italy 2X. We got a Greece 2X. We've got our events, right? So this 3X could be a world record holder now, I believe. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Kelowna, BC has a 3X. Greece has a 3X. I think so Greece is a
Canada?
2X. Yeah. Greece is a 2X on Saturday, 3X on Sunday. Bogota, Colombia. Lafayette, Indiana. Czech Republic. Oh, so Lafayette's got back-to-back shows on the 26th, 27th. So that all looks good.
Wait, Lafayette, Indiana?
Yep.
You said?
That's what it says.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a DB Drag or is it?
Yeah. I'm only looking on DB Drag.
Okay.
Let me look real quick and see what that says. It says, there's no information about it. There's literally no information. It just says begins at 5 p.m. on Saturday. It's at Soundcheck.
Yes. Okay. That sounded familiar.
Oh, Soundcheck, huh?
I wonder if when judges or people who are doing the event, they're able to list the event off of Term Pro Shop. And I think there's a spot where you could write down like details, specific details, or not in some cases. So,
well, I don't know how you list your events, but the way I list
mhm.
mine, I don't. I just list all the information on there, pick the flyer,
Right.
right? Is that
Yeah.
similar?
I think we
Okay.
go under specifically event
Mm-hmm.
promoter. But you know,
Joel saying J Pank in the house. I'm guessing that's for Joel Pankadow.
okay.
Dude, next week in May, it's Germany 1X. This is the first, second, third, and fourth, right? Germany 1X, Germany 2X, Germany 3X, Germany 3X.
I wonder if this is all a part of the new Cody initiative about, and I'm reading the email here
Uh
about the
huh.
Kickstart, the judges Kickstart program. So that's probably what it is. Wow, it's like working already.
Uh-huh. Eric's asking when's my first show in DFW. We ain't there yet. Chet did contact me and was asking about. He goes, "Hey, if I move to Dallas, he wants to start doing shows with me." So that's what he says. So that'd be interesting.
Cool.
Let's see here. We got Slovenia, Czech Republic, Tennessee, Sweden, France, Slovenia, Tennessee,
Oh my.
Czech Republic, Saskatoon in Regina, and then Moose Jaw, Saskatoon. Those are Canada. Sweden,
Oh,
Croatia. There are no U.S. shows listed for May, and I know there's shows in May.
oh, there's some of the Tennessee.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yep,
Tennessee.
Madison, Tennessee. Um, June. That's when we should start getting shows from all over. Nothing located yet, except for Arlington, Wisconsin, and Seymour, Wisconsin. 2X and 3X. Newport, USA. Is that you, Jeff?
No, is that for which month?
This is in June.
Oh,
Second
in
annual
June.
Team Flexin' on 'em night show.
Yeah, that's weird. It's Newport, but what city or
256
what
area code.
what state?
37821. Is that Florida?
We can look at the map here. Yeah, it would be helpful if they're Newport, Tennessee. Newport, Tennessee.
Oh, some Tennessee stuff.
Yeah, man, they're
Oh,
just
it's at the
picking up
fairgrounds.
where they left off.
Yeah. So, speaking of that, when are all the rest of you guys going to start hosting 1X shows? That's all I'm asking. I got to get to Dallas first before I can start doing shows. That's just how it works. Got to be there first. I will be having a DB Drag event May 31st at the Philippines. Not yet on Turn Pro. There we go. More
Oh,
international
dang.
shows. That's cool. I can appreciate that. Joel, are you doing anything out here in California? I got a text from Jose Sr., and he said that they have 3 shows coming up. Let me see. Let me check my text on that real quick. Um, oh, no, that was Junior. That was me asking him to come on the podcast, and he just ignored me.
No.
So I see May 18th and July 20th in Salinas. Our first 3 shows as DB Drag. We'll be joining Ray and doing dual orgs, is what he said. So that's May 18th and July 20th on 909 Harkins Road, Salinas. I recognize that address. That's Fat Boy.
I thought he was
Greg
Oakland.
Greg Colon. No. We call
Oh,
him Fat Boy. Greg
audio
Cologne.
connection, right?
Yeah, audio connection, Greg. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I actually went to a show out there they threw years ago, like 2010. Was a
Oh,
really
you
cool
went to the
spot.
one?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty cool. Um, I mean, he has a very open spot to do shows.
Oh
It's a
yeah.
big, huge alleyway. I mean, you could easily fit in there 50 to 70 cars. Um, and you can set it up so that they can drive around and, drive out onto the street and then just come around the backside of the building. Works really, really well out there. So um, it's actually a pretty good location.
Oh yeah.
Um, Wally Johnson says he's already done 2 1X shows. Got another 1X in July for South Carolina. I don't think so. SC, I'm sure it's not South Carolina. That's a long ride for him. Um, anyway, possibly one in the end of May, but not 100 on that yet. So,
Yeah, get your points.
yeah, Wally's working
Get
on
your
helping out
points.
doing some shows. Joel said he wants to do some shows. I had Rick Garcia texting me and Celise about doing shows. So that's down in the Fresno Bakersfield area. So that's cool. Hopefully it's growing and getting a lot more people involved. Um, and Fresno Bakersfield. Oh, he said yes, South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
So, um, but yeah, what I was saying is Fresno Bakersfield. That's a good distance from you. Like it's like far enough away that it's what 3 hours to Bakersfield for you or something. Four
Oh,
hours.
from me?
Yeah. No, it's not that much. It's only like 2.5, huh?
For Bakersfield, I want to say a little bit. I think Fresno is about 5 to 6 hours from me.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, it's a good distance away from you, and
yeah.
but it's a good spread. Like for me, Bakersfield's 3 hours.
Mm.
So I mean, for me, that's a good spread. Somebody in the Bakersfield, Fresno area, right? This side of my side of the grapevine versus your side of the grapevine type thing. I mean, the
Yeah,
grapevine takes what 30, 40 minutes to get over by itself anyway, right?
yeah,
Just driving
yeah.
over that. Janet Kent asked, when does DB drag start in the SAC area? Well, I told Jose I would help him get venue spaces at Nyman's shop. So, but haven't heard back. So I can only help those people that want to be helped. Daniel New popping in. Ray's got a 3X show coming up in 6 days here
Mm.
in Canada.
That's the BC show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we talked about that one already.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, you
Six
know,
days.
slightly deflated not doing Autorama because I was really geared up for Autorama, you know. I actually have a whole pile of stuff I have sitting here. I have a box that is 20 by 20 by 16 inches tall, full of world final stuff I was going to give out um, at Autorama. You know,
Oh, the shirts
the
and
straps, the
bags.
bags, yes, the
Oh,
hats.
what?
I had hats. I was giving all that stuff away at Autorama this year, and well, I guess I'm not. Because that's a really good place to give away that kind of merchandise. A
Mhm.
lot of people go there, and it's like the one time a year that they come out. For some people, right? That's the show. Nathan Schmidt. I got a text about that, but I'm not sure who Nathan Schmidt is. Janet wanted to know if I heard about Nathan Schmidt's passing. Oh,
Hmm.
Eric says I can just mail it to him. All that swag. But yeah, so like the goal was is I didn't want to move with it. So, you know, if I give it away, I don't have to move with it. Hmm. And what sucks is my sister was going to come up here, and then so my second choice was, since I'm not going to give it away at Autorama, I was going to send it down to you so you can give it away at your shows.
Oh, I'll take it.
But my sister's not coming up there now. So, hey, there's
fun.
Tristan. How's it going, Tristan? How's things with Tiffany in China? Hopefully all that stuff's going good. Tristan and the rest of the family might be moving out to China. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
that's a big move, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
With all these tariffs, you know.
Oh,
I don't know how that
no.
affects. I don't know how that affects people learning English. Eric Hansen says he called. He called something.
You got dibs.
Oh, he called
on
dibs. Gotcha.
On the finals. I think he picked up a bunch of extra final stuff at finals
Joel did?
in October.
Yes.
No, Eric did
Oh, did Eric too?
at the Texas location.
Okay. Tristan says Tiffany's doing great.
Oh, that's good to hear.
I know she was trying to find a VPN so she can listen into the podcast a couple weeks ago. So I don't know how that's doing.
They won't allow that.
No,
the
they don't
government
allow
is
it. Yep. True.
Oh,
True that.
bummer.
You know, us and our dissident talk about car audio and all. Oh, there he is. Tristan says they're going up in August.
Wow.
So that's cool. Awesome to hear.
Tiffany was teaching, right? Teaching English?
Yeah, teaching English.
Is like at a school or
Something like that.
Oh, okay. I wonder I'm pretty sure their school system is year round. I'm sure she doesn't get a break.
Yeah. So G. Trevor says, can I ask a question about a specific class? I have a headliner and carpet vinyl question. Shoot. We're here to help, sir. Why don't you give him the spiel about internet judging, Jeffrey? Just so he knows.
Well, it's more of a disclaimer. We'll attempt to assist in classifying competitors in a specific class. However, ultimately, it does need to be seen at an event to get some kind of official classification, I guess you could say. Only because what oftentimes will happen is we'll get pictures and it doesn't show the big picture. Maybe they were in a specific class that don't allow something specific that wasn't mentioned in the email or shown in the pictures, and then until it comes up to a show, and it's like for that reason.
Yeah.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, people aren't always completely forthcoming in their questions. They tend to phrase the questions a way that gets them the answer they want, not the answer that they need. Greg Cleary popping in. This is good evening, guys. What's going on?
Hey.
I wonder if I can watch this on my Meta. What is that, like a headset or something? Oh, Nathan was team to send it. So I think, you know what? I think Janet texted me the information about him passing. So, but yeah. Wow. So Jeff, I guess since we don't really have anything here this week, it's a Meta 2.
Oh, VR, virtual reality.
Is that what it is?
That's what he text VR.
Oh, so I don't see VR on my end. So, okay. That'd be interesting. Watching me in VR.
All right. Is that like 3D? No.
Oh, there it is. No. Have you ever done the Meta thing at the mall?
No, but I did have a friend of mine have like the Samsung Oculus. It's like a headset, and it was kind of cool. Yeah, one of those things.
You should sign up and go do it one of these times at the mall.
Oh, okay.
It is actually a pretty cool experience. You're sitting there and everything you can. So it actually comes up and you can see all the icons and you can see through the visor, right? So you can see everything looks good, and then you can go, and it is pretty immersive. So it is really, really neat.
I just don't want to end up like those guys that you see on those viral videos that have the headset and then they're pretending to run and then they actually run into the wall or the window or something like that.
That'd be hilarious. Only because it's you. All right. So Trevor says Super Street 5 Plus build. Can I pour 2-inch foam and make a 2-inch thick headliner, then wrap or paint it or wrap it with vinyl? Also, can I put vinyl on the floor instead of carpet? 88 Caravan. Eric says, hold on, I'm going to try it out.
Get it on video.
So, what are your thoughts? Can I pour 2 inches of foam and make a 2-inch thick headliner?
Is it in front of the B pillar?
Yes.
I mean, hopefully that'll.
Oh, yeah. If it's in front of the B pillar, the answer is absolutely no. You can't change the shape or the volume of the listening chamber. Is that accurate there, Jeff? Oh, you froze on me again. So, yeah, so you can't do that. Now, you can. There you go. There you go. You're back.
Am I back? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Has the deadener rule changed at all? Is it still up to 2 inches? So, yes-ish. It's up to 2 inches, but your panels have to go back into factory location. Right? Isn't that how that came out, Jeff?
As far as like door panels?
No, for deadener. Just deadener in general. So I know your door panels have to go back on into factory location. I know your headliner has to go back on into factory location. So, yeah. But you can use vinyl instead of the felt that goes on the top. So he says it wouldn't be flat, but it doesn't matter. Unless your headliner is 2 inches down from your existing roof right now before you did anything, then you couldn't add 2 inches there. You can't bring your roof down further by adding foam. Michael Graves says inside the doors are exempt from the 2-inch rule. Are they?
I have a rule book here.
I don't remember seeing that.
I got it on my iPad.
Here's also the issue you have with the here's another one of the issues you have is when you have it inside your door. Oops, there we go. When you have it inside your door, the window still has to be operational. So if your window's not operational, that means you have too much for sure. Trevor says, my problem is I have no factory headliner and I can't find one as it's a rare vehicle up in Canada. So you got to find out what the factory headliner is. I'm guessing it's less than an inch off the ceiling or be close to that. So you'd be able to spray like maybe 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch of foam and then stretch some vinyl across it and make a new headliner. That would be my guess. And I think that would be most likely be an acceptable thing for just about all the judges. What would you think, Jeff?
If it's stock looking,
Yep.
We'll give it a once over. Sometimes if I take a look at it and it doesn't look stock, it looks aftermarket, I'll probably give it a bang, with my fist and kind of see, because you could tell if you are replacing the headliner with an OEM equivalent, so to speak. But if if it's like wood up there, you can just feel it just by banging on it.
Yeah.
You might go to the doorway and kind of peel it back a little and see. But I wonder why they would want to do foam, up there.
I don't know. Maybe he saw her listen to our podcast talking to Bobby about that 16-pound foam.
Because you can literally, as an OEM equivalent, probably take some cardboard, like maybe some
masonite.
stiff, yeah, and then probably wrap that in vinyl or even carpet, and then strategically screw it into the braces in the ceiling.
And he asked, do visors have to be in? Super Street 5 Plus.
I would bring them, like if you're going to finals.
Yep.
But I think it's a part of. There's a rule in the rule book about if it's not SPL related or something like for instance the rearview mirror, right? It shakes off, you bust your windshield, it comes off, and you can't glue it back on. Or you refuse to glue it back on because 2 minutes after demoing it, it just falls off again. Right. That is, it's not a modification, for the sake of increasing your SPL type thing. So that's allowed, not having a rear view mirror.
But even at World Finals, I made people even tape in a piece of cardboard in similar size and shape to a visor, right?
Mm-hmm. So. I mean, I recall when I competed at finals in Nashville, in the Rabbit, I didn't bring the visors, and I was told I needed to have visors there. And luckily, Juan Herrera, who was with Soundstream at the time, he worked for them. He had a rental car, so he allowed me to go into his rental car, take the visors off of his rental car, and I put them in the Rabbit right there at the show at finals. So, and that, I mean, that was allowed. Shout out to Juan. I had to cut some wires to get him off, but hopefully he didn't have to pay
because
for
they had the lighting in the for the vanity mirror or something. Yeah. Sherwin Cotino. He has a similar question. Roof is built out to factory limits with Vibraflex. I plan on using carpet glue to the Vibraflex to be the OEM equivalent, following the original contours of the roof line, but built with Vibraflex. I'm thinking that's going to be close. I mean, that is something that happens quite often, so I believe that will be pretty close. Oh, Steve Willis answered yes. But hey, you know what's weird is I don't see Steve Willis's responses on my streaming chat for some reason. So,
props going out to people putting Vibraflex on their ceiling, because in order to put it on there, you have to heat it up with some kind of torch or heating element.
Oh yeah,
so hot that and in order to do that, you're just that's crazy.
Michael Graves put on here, as for deadener, section 3-8E excludes the enclosed spaces inside the doors.
There you
go. But once again, your windows still need to function, right? So that always see, Steve Willis texted something in here again, says no problem. And for some reason, see, I didn't see where Steve said they can pour foam inside doors and have working windows. If you can, and then make it look stock and stop asking stupid questions that incriminate yourself. So I didn't see any of Steve Willis's stuff, so I'm gonna have to keep this window open so I can see Steve's stuff too. Because for some reason it doesn't pop up on my chat over here, which is weird. So, hey, Steve, what are you watching on? Are you watching on the Sonic FX, DB Drag? Which account are you watching on? Just so I know, so I can figure out why yours doesn't show up for some reason. Unless you got me blocked.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, I know. I've been blocked before.
Oh,
But you know who I like to still get on here? Michael Mueller. Steve Willis and I talked to him a week ago. By the way, Steve, did he ever get back with you and help you out with the questions you had? But anyway, wait for Steve to answer that. Anyway, Steve and I talked to him on Zoom because he wanted to. Oh, I don't know how to use it. I'm in this and this.
oh, that's good practice.
Yeah. So he says he's on the Sonic FX site, and I don't see him popping up here. That's odd. I just. And Michael Mueller did get back. I will tell you, for people that don't know who he is, I really need to get him on here. Have you ever had any experiences with him, Jeffrey?
Oh yeah, he stayed over my place. One time he had that. I don't know if it was his first time with his USA tour, but
no, he's got lots of them.
Oh yeah,
But so he would always stop at my house and stay the night because I am, I lived in I lived in Delhi, which was only about 25 minutes from the what brand was it that he did? Robert Zapco. So he was the Zapco rep for Europe, I think, and because he was the Zapco guy, he would go see Zapco, and he would stay at my house for a day or two and do that. So while he was visiting Zapco, and then he could hang out with us at night and whatnot. My kids thought he was awesome because he spoke a different language, and yeah, so it was fun. Steve Willis says, "I'm on drag now. Can you see me? I cannot." I just find it's odd. I see everybody's text, and for some reason Steve Willis's don't come across. So I don't know. Maybe which one do we use? Not Streamlabs. OBS. Maybe OBS is prejudiced against Steve.
Uh-oh.
It's like the third time he says that's true. But anyway,
yeah. Piss off.
yeah. Who did you get banned from, Steve? But no, like I said, it's his thing was he was sitting in vehicles doing 170 back in the day. And he'd sit with a coffee mug and a thumbs up, and
yeah,
so Michael was a really cool guy. I really enjoy the guy. He's a good time.
When he stayed at my place, it was around January. He stayed, I think, maybe a night or two, and then when he left, he drove me to CES that year.
Right.
We had to, make the drive, and we stopped at that big thermometer at Baker, California. And he was and it was snowing too at the time. I remember he had taken some pictures and with a lot of snow on the ground. So
get yourself some alien jerky right there too.
No.
Oh.
I didn't. No, we didn't.
Did he?
No.
I do when I drive to Vegas. I do stop there quite often to get some alien jerky. They have like alligator
I never stopped there.
So no, it's cool. Like I said, but no, Michael. My kids really enjoyed it, and typically what he did is he did the rounds like before and after CES, and then he would be in the States for a month or something. But I really want to get him on here. Like I said, when Steve and I talked to him on the phone or on the Zoom call, he his English was actually still really well, because he hasn't talked to anybody in English in a few years, and his English was pretty good still, and that was what he was worried about more than anything else.
Yeah, I think he was a little self-conscious. I didn't know if it was his appearance or
No.
like you're saying, his English.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you told me you got him on Zoom, was it on like a video
Yeah.
type? Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, Steve says, yeah, he thinks he would do great on here.
Oh, okay.
And I think he would too. I'm going to try and hit him up for next week. Um, the thing about him is he's been around forever. And, so there's a lot of stories he was part of. He was one of those guys that was part of the story, not observing the story.
Hmm.
So I think that's a cool thing for him. And he was trying to push the stereo competition scene so much with his photos, right? With the I'm Mr. 170, the Big Okie, really good guy. I can't say enough about the guy.
I think he hosted a bunch of shows in Germany, right? Yeah.
The Mammut UUHG. So I used to make him his trophies for it. That's how I know. So I used to make the trophies for him, and then I would send them over to Germany because for some reason they don't have access to trophy parts like I do here. So
interesting.
So Steve Wills says, who didn't ban me is a better question. So, no. But anyway, yeah, like I said, Jeffrey, with you, what about Dana this year? She going to be competing or what?
Not just yet.
Okay.
Hopefully, we'll get her up and running soon. And she was wanting to be a part of the base race cruise night practices, and that it's just a matter of putting a system in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll bring the term lab to these cruise nights. But when I do an event, if we do, when we take the one car, we got it loaded down, the tent, table, TVs and stuff. So it's kind of hard to put the system in there at the same time. But I was thinking we might just take two cars and just, meet up. So once we get that show up and running at Tune Time, it's relatively close to where I live. So we might just take the two vehicles and she can do some more base racing.
Yeah. No, that'd be good. Has she been practicing though? Because our buddy Eric has been practicing.
No, she has not been practicing.
Because you do know, my bet is Eric is practicing because he's waiting for me to do a show in DFW, and so he can try and beat the boss.
Yeah.
That's what I'm betting. That's just what I'm betting.
What I will say is, to go back with Dana, when we had that practice in San Diego about a month ago when Rosa and Moses came down, Dana got into Moses' car and then did a perfect 29.99. First time, well, it might have been like 2 or 3 tries in Moses's car, so maybe she doesn't need the practice.
She's already that good. No.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. But hey, does anybody in the chat have any questions for us? Like I said, we're trying to get this thing going. Jeffrey's working on things. If you are somebody that wants to promote and become a DV drag judge, we're here to help you out. I can help you find venues, show you how to get venues, show you where to look for venues. So if those things are kind of things you want to do, just kind of hit us up, let us know. Like I said, it's super important that more people take on, when I came to California, the car audio community wasn't what it is today. And truthfully, anybody can make their area a strong car audio. I mean, Chris is a perfect example of it, right? Wall Street Chris. He just took it on himself to start having shows, bringing people to the shows, making people part of the shows. And now the Tennessee Base Racers thing is freaking off the hook. So, what did they bring, like 12 or 14 cars to World Finals last year?
The finals, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's nobody in here that can't recreate that atmosphere. I think he did an excellent job. And I think there is somebody in every area that could do that same job. I mean, Jeffrey had 0 shows in Dallas before he showed up, right? And you were getting decent turnouts at right before you moved. So yeah, it was awesome. So,
but there's that old saying, you never know until you try, right?
Yeah.
So, you'll go into it not knowing if you'll get the attendance. I'd always tell people, if I have an event and I just had like one person show up, for me, that's a plus, because that's an event that wouldn't have happened otherwise, if that one person didn't show up. So maybe they shouldn't dwell too much about the attendance, but just, you never know till you try. Just put it out there, and if it works out, and, you're only going to get as much as you put in as well. So.
Oh, yeah, Steve's asking. He must have showed up late. He says, he says, where are all the DB drag shows in California now? I have an opportunity to get them back at Nyman's shop. But as in Greg says, Salinas in May. There's a couple of shows in Salinas coming up, and Jose Ramos Jr. is doing them. Like I said, if there was somebody willing to do shows out in the Sacramento area, I can get them set up at the Brian Nyman location. Maybe get 2, maybe 3 events there this year to help make it as good as possible.
What area is Steve from? Is he mid California?
No. He's Sacramento area.
Oh, okay.
But
be perfect for Steve. If he's Sacramento.
Leo Valdez pops in, says that sounds tempting. Because he was a very strong competitor, Leo Valdez, and and then he stepped away. He got his championship. Eric Hansen says hello from my VR. Hey, is it totally weird watching it on your VR? Just curious. Speaking of, so kind of weird how life works out. Do you know Getty Hendricks? Or was he only a NorCal competitor?
For me, it doesn't sound familiar.
Oh, okay. So he was a NorCal guy. He was a Team Gately guy. I didn't know if he...
Getty. I can see the spelling now, but it's Geddy.
Correct.
I remember one year at finals, he helped you out on, I think it was Cherry Picker, because he was the only one that was like union that was able to drive that, or to operate that.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
I think it was that same guy.
It could have been. It very much could have been. Anyway, so I was bowling Saturday, and Gary Smith says, "What's up, peeps?" Greg Cleary says, "Hey, what's up, Leo?" Gary, what's up, brother? Getty shows up at the bowling alley Saturday.
Oh, okay.
And I was trying to convince him to bet me some money, but he wouldn't do it. And actually, he just started competing and started putting. Eric says we're just floating in space on his VR set. He said he's just now getting back into car audio and stuff, and I'm leaving, and it's kind of weird because because he just knows me as the DB drag guy, right? So, no, like I said, it's very interesting. And like I said, if somebody wants to do shows and wants me to kind of help them get hooked up with Nyman's shop, the Mellows Auto Repair, I can help with that. I think I got Joel hooked up with the guys in Reno to possibly do some
nice.
1Xs in Reno. So, like I said,
And that's like the biggest hurdle is finding a venue to
yeah,
do the event. So
yeah, and doing your first event, right?
mm,
Once you've done your first event, the next one becomes easier.
true.
I used to prepare 3-4 days in advance for a show. Now you can tell me there's a
What?
show this afternoon, and I can have it ready in a couple hours.
No way.
So,
I still got to do a couple of days because maybe a day or two out during that same week as the show happens, I want to get on my term lab. I want to test it out. I want to test out the TV, the monitors.
I don't even
So
do that anymore.
yeah, I
All I
don't
do is
know how you can do one day.
I test my term lab in the morning before I leave for the show. That's it. So,
Well, then it's probably never happened to you, but I've had, I think, maybe a time where there was an update like the night before and it kind of screwed me on that.
well, so that's why I always do it the morning right before I leave. So like
okay.
40 minutes before I leave my house, I go start my term lab up and my laptop and make sure there's no more updates. Eric says it's like watching TV. So Gary Smith has a question. Can I ask a question, guys? I just got back into audio. How do I wire two dual 4 ohm subs to 1 ohm, but I need to run each sub to their own terminal on my monoblock amp? That doesn't make sense. Does that make sense to you, Jeff?
I would get what's the app that I use? Is it Ultimate? Oh, did I take it off? Ultimate Car Audio app. Our friend, I think Thomas,
Oh yeah.
he was on the show a few times.
Uh-huh.
He's got an app where, and I used this many times when I was working at Crossfire, and people would call with these same questions. Then I would just type it in, and then they would tell me exactly what I needed. So let's see, two dual 4. Okay, so
Yep.
it's dual. So he's got two dual 4s, and then
So he's got to run them all
amplifier.
parallel. That's the only way you can get to 1 ohm, right? Because you run parallel, that's going to give you 2 ohms for each sub, and then you run those parallel, that's going to give you 1 ohms at the amp. So you need to have one positive go to all 4 positives of the subwoofers, one negative come from the amp to all 4 negatives of all the subwoofers. So parallel, whatever word that is that Eric Hansen put up there. Parallel, each sub.
Oh, there we go. 2 and then 4.
But Steve is correct.
Yes, parallel to get
Strap
1 ohm.
them. Amps should be eternally bridged, which correct, especially if it's a monoblock amp.
Yeah.
So
you can wire them in series and get 16 ohms.
Probably
play it safe.
Probably not what you're looking for, 16 ohms. But it's been a while since I've seen some dual 4 subs.
Yeah.
So
normally they'll drop them into the dirt. Dual quarter ohm.
That's right. Dual
stuff
quarter
like
ohm
that.
sub.
That's sick.
That's right. We're trying to run it at 0.001 ohms, please. Your amp will take that, right?
What? It's not under warranty?
What do you mean?
But the impedance rise is like takes me up to quarter ohm, and I can't.
What makes you think I run it under ohms? Couldn't be the quarter size hole in your on your board, right? So anyway, well, we ran into our hour already, Jeffrey, almost. So But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We didn't have anybody. I am going to talk to the Okie about being on next week. If you guys ever have a suggestion for a competitor that's maybe even new to competing, or somebody that was gone for a while, and you think they would be a good person, hey, hit one of us up about being getting them on the show to come and talk to us. Eric says box rides will help. Not that much. But yeah, if you guys have somebody that would like to get on the show, I mean, we've done, I think I'm up to like 275 shows on this podcast now. Wow. So, and we've only repeated a handful of people. So we have a lot of fresh faces we get in here. We get some new things. If there's something coming up or that becomes a thing in the car audio world that you guys would like to know more about, like when lithium batteries came out, we did like 3 or 4 podcasts just about batteries. Then we also did one with alternators, right? So because if you're going to do your electrical system, it's all part of the same things. Gary says let's keep this kind of content going. So we try. Like I said, we've been doing it a minute, and he says he's on a budget too. So yep, I have single 4 right now. Oh, Steve says he's running single 4 ohm subs right now. But yeah, we like to keep this content going. We go every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. California time. Once again, the only time that matters. Even when I move to Wichita, it's gonna be the only time that matters.
That's gonna be weird. It'll be what 8:30?
8:30 Wichita time. The tall. Eric Hansen says get Wayne Harris on. Wayne is a tough get. So the issue with Wayne is he only wants to come on and when there's something pertinent. So if there's something like World Finals coming up or a major change in something, that's when he wants to come on. He wants to make his appearances meaningful. So not saying that if that something like that isn't on, it's not meaningful, but he's not inclined to come on unless it's warranted for some other reason. That's the best way I can say it.
He's a busy guy.
He is a very busy guy. He's actually trying to get his doctorate right now in computer programming, I think. Yeah, I think he's doing it in computer programming right now. So, but yeah, so he's going to school a lot and whatnot. So that's cool. Triple Fest. Oh yeah, maybe
that's this weekend.
Oh, is it this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, if I would have known that, I would have called up Nick again and got Nick on here.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I don't know, and so, but you know what? I'll talk to Nick this week, and we'll see about getting him on next week to talk about Triple Fest, because that's his show, right?
And you know what? I do recall leading up to Triple Fest events in the past. He's very, very busy, because it's just him. Well, probably him and his wife.
Yeah,
setting it all up. But so maybe that we wouldn't have been able to get him on because he would have been so busy. But
yeah, so I'm gonna try the Big Okie. I'm gonna try Nick. What's Nick's last name?
Right, Nicholas Wright.
Nicholas Wright. And we'll try and get him on about Triple Fest next week, and then the Big Okie after him. I'm really going to hit up Michael. I promise you guys, he is one of my favorite people in the whole world. He's just, the guy's got the kindest heart you can ever imagine. And he loves the car audio and the car audio community. So there's not a lot more you can do than that. So...
and if people are interested in getting a vehicle shipped from Germany to the United States, he's done it many times. I don't know if he's done that and left the vehicle. Like you want to buy a car from Germany and then have it brought over here. He'll know how to do it.
Oh, Eric Hansen suggests Chet. We might get Chet on here.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound horrible. Oh, we still need to get what's her name on there. Who's doing South Texas?
Anita
Anita
and Gilbert. Yeah.
Yeah, Anita and Gilbert. We could probably get them on. So
yeah, they could definitely talk about their heat wave show
Texas
coming up in July. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So we can probably do that. I mean, that gives me a couple people to get put and set up. I'll continue to ask Scotty Johnson to come on, and he'll continue to. I'll get on. I swear. And I got text messages all the way from 4 years ago telling me that.
Whoa.
So, but he's always a busy guy. I mean, look at the stuff he's buying. That's really why I'd like to have him on here. Talk about how DB Drag kind of pushed him into the realm of owning all the stuff he does. I think he would be a great, because the guy's got such a great attitude and has a passion for the industry. And
I remember going to finals, and he was still a competitor back then. Mr. Popular, and he had really the nicest cars, and the kind of, from where he was back then to where he is now, man.
Yeah.
That's definitely a bunch of good stories waiting to be told.
So hopefully I can get him on. I'll text him too. I know he's gonna say no, but I'll text him. Oh, my daughter, she finally popped in. If you guys live in the Wichita area and need a bathroom remodel, see my daughter. She's the reason I'm moving, so you can tell her. She's the reason there's no shows set up in California.
What?
So, Steve, you can yell at her for that. That's all her fault.
You can't put it all on her.
Her and my wife connived and made me buy a house. So, but it's done. It's over. She says, "Okay, chill." Sup, Jeffrey?
What's up?
Anyway. All right, guys. Well, we are going to take out of here. Hey, Doug, I just sent you a friend request. Jeffrey, do you have a Facebook?
Yes.
Jeffrey Fernandez.
I'm sure you could find me on Doug's friends list.
Am I friends with you? I'm sure I am.
That's how I get on the show every week. As soon as I open the computer, as soon as I turn it on, I'll get in. I'll get onto your Facebook, and then that's
okay.
That's where I know to find the link and share.
Got you. All right, guys. Jeffrey, any last thoughts at all?
No. Just with the shows coming up, the weather turning, we're getting into spring, the summertime. Yeah, just keep an eye on that calendar. I know a lot of people are like, where are all the shows at? But I mean, maybe I'm probably the prime example, but it's hard for me to put shows out far in advance. So I'm usually like the guy maybe a month in advance, or even like I really don't want to do a week in advance because I feel I don't have enough time. But so if you're asking, where are all the shows, just keep an eye on that calendar, dbdragracing.com, I think /calendar. You never know when a show will pop up. I like to blast it on Facebook and all social media, so you could also search there. Don't just, what we did today, we looked at the calendar, and you probably didn't, some of our listeners probably didn't find one in their area, but that doesn't mean that tomorrow there's going to be a whole list of shows that's going to be in their area. So, that would just be my suggestion. It's just check out the calendar.
Eric says his judge moved. So, no, that's good. And like we always say, you want to help the sport grow, best thing you can do is bring somebody with you to a show.
Mhm.
Very rarely have I ever had somebody show up to a show and go, "Oh, this is exactly what I expected. It's not very fun." It's, "Wow, this is amazing."
Yeah.
And the reason
Mhm.
is because the people that are at the show are actually passionate about what they do and they love it. And when you're passionate and love something, it shows and it's
Yes.
infectious. So please just bring somebody, somebody goes, "Wow, that's interesting," or "You do what?" Invite them to a show. Gotta bring them to a show, and they will. I promise you, it's going to be a experience that they will want to repeat. They will maybe even start competing again. Steve Willis, rules are out, but no shows. Um, but yeah, so like I said, guys, if everybody invites one person, every show we double participation, right? So that's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you guys all for tuning in. Thank you, Jeffrey. Um, I appreciate you guys listening to us. It's weird. Um, these people actually tune in and listen to us every week talk about stuff that we would talk about anyway, right?
Yeah.
Back in the days, we would call, not necessarily you and I, but you would call Roger and have these similar conversations, right? Or so it's kind of cool the platforms that we can use nowadays, and that other people enjoy hearing the stories of the past and whatnot.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm really looking forward to getting Michael on here, and I think he'll end up on a two-part thing for sure. It's just the guy has so much, and his love for what we do is just phenomenal. So
Well, I mean, shout out to you for, having this platform. For somebody who says that they're not too computer savvy on Facebook and stuff like that, when it comes to the podcast, they're all over Facebook and all that. So, shout out to you for bringing this out. I know there's a couple of car audio podcasts out there. And man, that's just crazy how you have an idea. It's something that you love and care about, and now you're bringing it out to the masses. So shout out to you.
appreciate it, Jeffrey. All right, guys. We will catch you next week, 6:30 California time, because that's the only time that matters. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's podcast, but we will see you next week. This week in car audio. Peace. We out.